everybody, and welcome back to another 52-week movie challenge. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and today I had to do a holiday movie. And as you can see behind me, this is what I picked. So, by the way, I've got this, which is the Blu-ray for it, but I have not actually seen it on Blu-ray. I watched it on Disney Plus. So, I think that the Blu-ray has some like special features and stuff like that, which I may want to go back and check out. But for now, we're just going to talk about what I saw on Disney Plus. So it's a holiday movie. The name and title is Disney's Christmas Carol. Date challenge completed was 10/11/22. So that was today. Year release was 2009. Aspect ratio is 1.781. Running time is 1 hour and 36 minutes. Genre is animated, adventure, fantasy. There's a lot, actually. It was like drama, comedy, all this other stuff. So it's got a lot of stuff into one thing. But it's basically an animated family comedy kind of thing. Rated PG, which we'll get into. Starring Jim Carrey, Gary Oldman, the voices of Gary Oldman. There's Colin Firth, Carrie Elwes, and Robin Wright Penn, Daryl Sabera. There's a lot of people. Directed, produced, and written by Robert Zemekis. Music by Alan Silvestri. Awards received was ASCAP award winner for top box office films. I know I've never heard of that or like what kind of award that is, but that's what it was a winner of. It was also a winner of BMI Music Award winner by Alan Silvestri and Blimp Award winner. Why did I choose this particular film? Because I've been dying to see it. So I've known about it for so long, and I was like, Jim Carrey as Ebenezer Scrooge. I mean, that just writes itself. So then, have you seen this movie before? Nope. Would you recommend this film? Why am I not? Yes, I would love. And yes, I would. It's a lot of fun. I gave it 4.5 stars. Which character are you most able to identify with, connect with in one way? I guess the nephew. I think his name was like Bob. Maybe I'm just always trying to get people in the Christmas spirit. I mean, that's why I'd recommend him, is because, even though I'm poor, I'm not poor, but I'm not rich by any means. I still want to celebrate Christmas as much because it's a time for, gathering together and having a good time and whatnot. Best line memorable quote from the nephew, played by Colin Firth. He says, the Ebenezer Scrooge says, "Bah humbug! What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough." He says, "What reason have you to be so dismal? You're rich enough." Good point. Good point. And he says, "Bah humbug." Of course, right after that. Were you surprised by the ending? What would you do different? Nope, but stuck to the classic literature. I wouldn't do anything and put it down there, but I wouldn't change anything. I absolutely love the idea that, he does get in the Christmas spirit by the end of the movie. Do you celebrate the holiday feature in this film? Yes, I do. Actually, interestingly enough, I might not be celebrating it this year. So my family has decided that for like 1 year, we're kind of going to skip Christmas in a way. So I think maybe I should have picked that as the holiday movie, but I've seen it a million times. I wanted to try something new. A lot of reasons why I do this 52-week movie challenge is to try to get away from movies that I've seen a million times, unless it's something I just really want to see. Let's see. Do you celebrate the holiday feature in this film? Yes. If so, how are your own celebrations similar to or different to the ones portrayed in this film. Not much different at all. They showed Christmas off pretty well. I mean, I don't know. There's really nothing much different. And anything else you'd like to add? Nope. Go see it on Disney Plus. So, before we get into the next one, I'm going to talk a little bit about this movie. So, like I said, it was directed and written by Robert Zemeckis, and if you know that name, you'll know him mainly from Back to the Future. But he's done a lot of other stuff, a lot of films, including Forrest Gump and a bunch of other movies. But uh, this had like, I mean, a great cast. Jim Carrey was just phenomenal. The animation was fun. This guy, I loved this guy, which Jim Carrey did the voice of as well. He did the voice of all the Christmas, past, present, and yet to come. And I liked all of them. I liked Marley, played by Gary Oldman. He also, I believe, did Bob Cratchit or Cratchit, and he also did what is the other one? Tiny Tim, which was interesting because each one's sort of a different voice, and they did a really good job. All in all, I just had a really fun time with this movie. I mean, the animation is a little bit of what I don't usually like. I don't usually like this kind of animation where it's like has faces and everything. Like, I don't know. It generally throws me off, but I liked the way this was done, and uh I like the guy. I like the Christmas the spirit of Christmas present. He was always laughing and being jolly. The first one was like a flickering light guy, which was interesting. And that was another thing is like they could do a lot different stuff, kind of cooler stuff that they wouldn't be able to do if they had it live action. So plus, I mean, it sort of looks like Jim Carrey. I don't know if they did a thing where they made him look like Jim Carrey or something like an old version of Jim Carrey, what he would look like as an old man. I bet a lot of that is in the behind the scenes. The voices, I mean, everybody had a lot of fun. As I said, Daryl Sabera was in it. I think that's how you say his name. He was in like the Spy Kids movies, and he was in Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, and whatnot. And I really, I really liked everybody's like who did a voice. Yeah, it's just really, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. I was kind of shocked that this movie, because I don't really hear about it as much anymore. You hear about Muppets Christmas Carol more than you hear about this. And I thought about doing that one, but I'm like, I haven't seen this one. Like I've seen the Muppets Christmas Carol like a bunch of times, but I hadn't seen this one yet. And so I was like, let me check it out. And um, I liked the animation. I liked the characters. I liked the ending where he's changed, and it's because he's been forced to see all these things he just does not want to see, doesn't want to. And what I really get out of it is the stuff that you get from the book, because he really kept really good with the book. But like, what was so great about the book, and it was one of my favorite books growing up. I actually remember reading it and loving it. And what is so great about the book is just the idea of this of okay, so it's the idea of the the idea of Christmas spirit, right? But it's just the spirit of being nice, period, right? Just being a good, wholesome, nice person. And there was something that happened, and we see some of it. We see some of the little bits and pieces of his childhood or how bad it was with him with becoming an adult and the love of his life leaving him. All these things make him this bitter, grumpy old man who, once his partner dies 7 years later, his partner is the one who kind of brings this all on him. And it says for 7 years, the guy's been wandering around with chains on, just going everywhere, or whatever. And that's terrible. That's like hell, to me. Um, so he even says if my chains are this bad, basically yours are going to be worse because you've been a worse person basically on this about this stuff. And so I just really enjoyed all the characters, enjoyed the idea of this Christmas niceness, like people just being sweet and being kind. And this guy who's always like bah humbug, like everybody knows the bah humbug, as Christmas Carol. I don't even know if anybody's ever said that outside of Christmas Carol. I don't know, but yes. Anyway, I liked everything. Like I just thought this was just a fun, enjoyable ride. It got a little dark at times. It was PG and not G, and I don't think they cursed, but I think there were moments that were a little scary for kids. So like kids under 10 might and I might even go to say under 5 or 6 these days, because kids these days, I think, get to see worse or whatever, period, and stuff, maybe sometimes even live worse than this. So maybe it's not as scary. But I would definitely say 10 and up, you could definitely watch this with them because it's not scary. It's just it's got frightful scenes, kind of like how Fantasia in Disney has like little frightful scenes, but isn't really scary, you know. Um, Anywho, I would definitely recommend this movie. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, please go see it. You can see it on Disney Plus. I only picked it because it's a holiday movie on here, and I don't know, maybe they'll have me pick holiday movies later or something, Christmas movie, and I can do another one, or whatever. But this is a movie that I really, really suggest people check out. So, I'm doing this really late at night after I already doing another podcast, so bear with me. Sorry. If you've been watching it this long, thank you. All right, I think that's it. 4.5 stars. Go watch it if you get a chance. All right. Moving on to what is next week's the first film of a famous director. All right. I have no idea what I'm going to pick yet. That's a lie. I have a couple ideas, but what I'm actually going to pick, we'll see, if I agree with that or not. Just letting you guys know, I will be going out of town next week or this next weekend, not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend for a horror convention. So the next weekend, next Wednesday will be that, and then the week after that, I'll still do the episode and everything, but just letting you know things are a little crazy right now, so just bear with me as I get things going. We still have the 31 days of indie horror going on, and that's going to keep going until 31 days, so till Halloween. And then there's going to probably be like not a lot going on at Indie Film Cafe, so just be ready for that. But until then, there will at least be one one video a week because we'll have these. But until the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, I'm not doing this again next year because I've got too much stuff going on. But I may bring this back in a couple years or so. So we'll see. But until then, I want to say thank you guys for checking this out, and check out the links below for ways to see all the other stuff that we're doing. All right, until then, bye.